Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing Elac's debut series B6.2 bookshelves. Now we've seen these before, previous historic video, terrible lighting, we evolve, right? Nevertheless, we've seen them before, but I like to revisit some really cool products when they might come out with a colour option or a variation. In this instance, it's their awesome walnut finish. They're no more expensive than their classic blacks, and from time to time we get to see them in New Zealand in some colour options like this. And I'm so enamoured with the speaker itself, and I love the colour so much, I thought I'd take the opportunity to share it with you today. So, Elac, their debut range is already hugely renowned in the industry. Award-winning 5 stars on their floor standers and bookshelf speakers throughout their range. No one can really, well, reviewers-wise, can get their head around how Elac managed to do something so competent from a sound quality perspective so cheaply. And to see such a lovely finish now also available, pretty cool. So, let's have a quick look. Elac debut range, very boring packaging. Brown box, black writing, line drawing of the speaker, a bit of information, basic stuff, B6.2 Walnut, model and serial number scannable information on one end, an emulation of that, and again the model and serial number. Opening these as before, and like with most of the Elacs, by the way, it's sort of a two-stage process. The first is to look at trimming the packing tape itself, and the second is to sort of bust the unit open so that you can deal with the staples that hold it closed. So the easiest, it's not very elegant, it's just to rip it open. And as always, please get rid of these staples straight away. You don't want to run the risk of damaging the product or yourself. In the top, okay, held securely in place with polystyrene, are the speakers of course themselves, and a very comprehensive manual that also introduces the whole debut range. There's 2 desiccant bags, and then the easiest with anything of this size is to just roll it over and take the box off the speakers. I'll pause and just check. It's always a good idea to just make sure that there's no accessories or other things like that in the polystyrene on the top. Nothing there, get rid of it, take the box, get rid of that. Oh, that sounds dreadful. Right, the speaker grill, as previously, it's got an awesome, so the grill has to sort of have a curve to it from an aesthetics perspective that also helps with a little bit of reflection off the cabinet. But to sort of keep that curve is often a little bit of an engineering feat, and still try and keep things acoustically transparent. What Elac do is have a hexagonal design to give the rigidity of the grill and hold the acoustically transparent cloth nicely over the front. You can see a little line, that's for the tweeter, it's the mid-bass driver, and the Elac logo front and centre. Put the other one off to one side. Now the speakers are identical, so honestly I'll just put that off and lift this one out of the last piece of polystyrene. Good to see the packaging is so well molded. I mean, for obvious reasons we want to make sure that these come to us in brilliant condition. There we go, get rid of that. Now it's a simple enough, what do I call this, poly paper bag. It's awesome as far as the protection. We get a first little look at the finish and why we're revisiting these speakers. there we have it. I mean, I love that dark walnut finish. I just think it looks awesome. Nevertheless, inch silk dome tweeter, in behind a really good quality disbursement cover. Now, as always, hang around for some close-up photographs because some of these finer details are never really going to be sort of picked up on the video. We've got what is a protective dome, but the curvature and engineering behind it helps to disperse the tweeter and the high frequencies into the room accurately. There's a little bit of a fold to it, along with grooving and other things inside, and the tweeter centrally. We see the basic plastic bungs for the grill. There's 6 of those, and then the main mid-bass driver. Now, this is a 6.5 inch driver. The frequency, it's a classic two-way design with a frequency response down to about 44-45 Hertz, all the way up to 35 kilohertz, which also helps to solve some of the resonant issues that any dome might have. So obviously one of the reasons why it works so well as a bookshelf speaker is that Elac has spent some time and energy resolving many of the issues that speakers have, yet develop it and deliver it to the market at a very, very modest price point. You'll see all sorts of other little things, like a little bit of tapering effect on the basket that holds the speaker in place. Dust cap, light, flexible, nimble, beautiful, beautiful design. The front port, of course, is all the way back into the cabinet itself and allows the speaker to breathe without having the potential issues with port chuffing if the port was at the rear. Again, central and lower down is the Elac logo, along with the other bungs for the grill. It's not a massive speaker. In fact, most, when they first listen to it, are astonished at the prestigious amount of sound it can produce, particularly at the bottom end, from a relatively compact box. You can see it's not really very deep. This is certainly no petite little speaker, but it's such a good sound for its size that any of the slight compromises you might have between a very small speaker and something of this size is easily forgotten when you start listening to it. Looking at the back, again we get to see the beautiful finish of the walnut that Elac offer. There's scannable information associated with the bookshelf speaker's serial number and basic information Elac and the Debut 2.0 series. They've got a 5-way binding post, clearly labelled with red and black rings. 5-way being obviously it will accept bare wire through the pre-drilled hole. It'll accept bare wire wrapped around the binding post. It'll accept pins, bananas and spades, hence the 5-way term. Again, fit and finish is absolutely lovely, and the jointing, everything like that is quite perfect. They're a 6 ohm speaker. They're about 87 dB efficient, and they weigh sort of 7.5 kilos each, so we're sort of 15 kilos for the pair and nearly 20 by the time it's in its box. It's a brilliant, brilliant speaker, and I truly have loved sharing this awesome colour option with you today with a classic speaker, the Elac Debut B6.2 bookshelf speakers, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.